So I am going to be explaining mental illness, and I'm going to just talk about what mental illness is and then also do the three types of explanations that explain mental illness. So, first of all, mental illness can be described in a few different ways. It can be described as any type of harmful or dangerous behavior that you're exhibiting, whether that is to yourself or onto others. This can involve self-cutting or suicidal behavior or anything along those lines. It can also be when a person has inappropriate emotions towards a situation. So you could say someone's in a very serious situation. They're at the hospital with their family because one of their family members is hurt or sick, and they're laughing or exhibiting just unnatural behaviors towards that situation. That could be an indicator of a mental illness. Mentally ill people can also have delusions and unrealistic perceptions, as well as having behavior that goes from extreme to another extreme. They have a really hard time with the ability to abide by normal expectations. So those are all kind of a different definition of what mental illness is. So now I'm going to talk about the three types of explanations of mental illness. So there's biological, psychological, and there is, sorry, I don't know why I lost my thought, supernatural. So the three types of explanations for mental illness, I'm going to start with the first one, which is psychological. And this explanation means that mental illness is caused by thinking, behavior, and different changes in emotion, which can include a variety of different emotions, such as anxiety or fear. Another explanation of a mental illness is supernatural. This is attributed to thinking that they are possessed by an evil spirit or demon, or believing that they are cursed or sinful. Oh, my cat, okay. Anyway, so the early treatments for this type of people were crazy to learn about because they involved cutting or letting blood out to let out the demons and let out the sins. And I thought that that was just crazy. Another thing that they did was exorcisms, trying to get rid of the evil spirits that they believed were in their body, which was causing, and this was all seen as a mental illness, a supernatural mental illness. The last explanation is the biological explanation, and this one's pretty normal. This is the one I think that carries over a lot, as well as the psychological one. This explanation and approach states that mental illness is the mental illness has a physical or genetic cause. The belief of a biological mental illness is related to the functioning of the brain, or it can be inherited, like through your genes, or caused by injuries. So that's the biological explanation. And then one last thing that I wanted to touch on with mental illnesses is one important person in the field, which was Emil Kraepelin. And he was a psychiatrist that worked with Wundt, and he classified mental disorders based on a couple different things: their involvement of the central nervous system, the different symptoms, and the treatments. So he was considered the father of modern psychiatry for his efforts in understanding mental illness and their connection to the brain's biology. He was also the founder of pharmacology, which is the study of psychiatric drugs and their effects on the nervous system. And then one thing that I thought was interesting about him was his involvement in the DSM. So we still use the DSM today, and psychiatrists used his work from way back when and put it in the DSM, and we're still looking at that and using his classification of mental illnesses today. So thank you for watching, and I hope that this video was helpful in understanding mental illnesses.